situation with Amber. So
Mr. Depp, with respect, trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was simply,
when
you would
take
agree,
5 minutes to look for a
you would
document.
agree that on Let's pull up Exhibit 500, please. 500? 500. Defense Exhibit 500.
I'd like to see who I lied to.
Sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings, too, right?
Isn't happy hour anytime?
Can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. I once gave...
Stop right there. Before we continue on to this video, I want to tell you guys about FadeGrips.store. They have some amazing merch along with hats, hoodies, shirts, grips, and more grips. They have all the grips. They have glow-in-the-dark grips. They have camo grips and much, much more. Dude, use it for style. Use it for tactical stuff during gaming. It's amazing. I highly suggest them. So please, please go to FadeGrips.store and use my promo code SPIKE678 for an 8% discount. So without further ado, let's get right back into the video. Welcome back, guys. We got some breaking news. Doing a video on something different today. So as most of you guys heard, Johnny Depp is suing his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, Amber Heard, in a defamation trial. And we are going, I know I'm a little late on this, but I want to kind of recap on everything that's happening. I don't care what any of you guys say, I am a Johnny Depp fan, okay? That being said, I'm going to recap of what has been happening this entire trial and get into today, where I think today was, the last couple days have been probably the most important days for this trial. So Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for an op-ed that was written in 2018 by Amber Heard. Now, Amber Heard's claim is that she wrote the op-ed but wasn't about Johnny Depp, which it's most definitely about Johnny Depp. I'm sorry. It says he's a wife beater. The last time I checked, he was her only husband. So, with that being said, and then Amber Heard is countersuing him for some tweets that his former lawyer has made. So, but we'll get into that. But we're going to get into today on some of the important, in my opinion, testimonies that could come out today. Today was a very interesting day, very unexpected, interesting day. So Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had multiple witnesses, and so most of this week was rebuttal witnesses for Johnny Depp. And so, first up today, which wasn't a shock, we all knew this was coming when Amber Heard spilled the beans, and Kate Moss, Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriend, dated between 1994 and 1998. So they had some history together, and let's watch her testimony. It's only a couple minutes. It was very short today with her testimony, but it definitely put in the key parts of this. And then I'm going to show you my opinion and get on to that.
Good morning, Ms. Moss, or I should say good afternoon, your time.
Nope.
Your time. My name is Ben Chu from the firm of Brown Rudnick. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Kate Moss.
Ms. Moss, where do you reside?
London.
Having a hard time with it.
From where are you testifying today, Ms. Moss?
Gloucestershire, England.
Ms. Moss, do you know Johnny Depp?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Depp?
I had a relationship with him.
Did there come a time when you and Mr. Depp had a romantic relationship?
Yes.
For how long, Ms. Moss, were you and Mr. Depp a romantic couple?
From 1993
It's having a
to
hard time loading.
1994 to 1998.
Ms. Moss, did there come a time when you, while you and Mr. Depp were a couple, that the two of you took a vacation together to the Golden Eye Resort in Jamaica?
Yes.
What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs, and I hurt my back.
How did you...
And
I apologize, Ms. Moss. Please continue.
and I screamed because I was in because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain. And he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No,
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
no, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
Ms. Moss, have you ever before today testified in any kind of court proceeding?
No, I have never.
Why did you decide to testify today?
Objection, Your Honor.
All right,
That's beyond the scope of what we just talked about.
all right, I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you, Ms. Moss. We have nothing further at this time. We greatly
Okay, so that's pretty much it. Basically, so Amber Heard and her sister both claim that Johnny Depp has pushed Kate Moss down the stairs. Now, the only reason why Amber Heard's sister, I guarantee you the only reason why she testified on her behalf is because they're sisters. She's probably scared of Amber. Let's be honest. So that's the only reason. But this basically disproves what they both were saying in the fact that Kate Moss fell down the stairs but was never pushed in any way by Johnny Depp. So, very telling on that. It was a very short witness, but it did put in the key parts of what they needed to know in all this. So Kate Moss, very, very excellent. I'm glad that she was brought into this because former ex, you would think that because, with the abuse, you would think it's kind of like a pattern, See, when it comes to abuse, it's sort of like a pattern. You typically, if you are the abuser, you have certain patterns to this, like previous encounters. Johnny Depp has never had a previous encounter of him ever really abusing anything. And like he said, the only thing he's abused is himself, meaning with all the drugs and alcohol he consumed. So, that being said, so yeah, it was very, very good for her to do this. Now, we're going to get into Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, so very, very unexpected today. I thought because Amber Heard's side was supposed to take his, was supposed to call him, but they didn't because they're running out of time. So then Johnny Depp's side brought him. Now we're not watching this entire thing, but I kind of want to kind of show the cross examination of Johnny Depp. I'm gonna watch this for a few minutes.
Put it in evidence. Okay, any objection to 1905?
With the comments, we have no objection to the photograph itself. We would ask the comments be redacted as hearsay.
Well,
Come on, go. Restart this. Where's the sound?
before you got on the train
All right,
ride
here we go.
for your honeymoon, where you claim that Miss Heard hit you and gave you a black eye, you have the exact same shadow or sunburn or mark under your left eye. The exact same mark, don't you?
That's the, when you get a side light, you see the occipital bone. So that is the exact area.
Yep. And it's actually,
A side light will cause that.
yeah, well,
as
the
well.
picture's not being taken from the side, is it? It's being taken head on, isn't it?
No. The lens in front,
Yeah,
the light on the side
right.
will cause that occipital bone, I believe it's called, to appear sunken. And
Just like lights on the side of a train car, correct?
Objection
Well,
calls for
You
speculation.
can take that down, Michelle.
that was in fact in the dark.
Sus-
And I had a
sustain-
chef, I had people on either side of me, so
If you could
I
wait for
don't
the-
see where the light fill is from the side there.
Mr. Depp, if you could wait for the next question, next question.
Next
Sorry.
question. Even the picture your team chose to show you on that train isn't accurate, is it? Let's pull up
Objection
exhibit.
calls for speculation.
Let's pull up exhibit 1859, please.
1859, is that in evidence?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Depp, this is the same picture, or the same, the exact same scene displayed in PX 162 that you looked at this morning, correct?
That looks like my face has been, the eyes have been photoshopped.
Oh, okay. All right, so this post from the Eastern and Oriental Express's Facebook page, you're saying that that's photoshopped?
Is
Let's
that from
pull
their
up
page?
side
I
by
would,
side.
sure, why wouldn't they?
Let's pull them up side by side, please. Your Honor, I move for the admission of this exhibit. We can just have the pictures. We don't need the,
Any objection to the picture?
Objection, lack of foundation, lack of authentication.
is that you in the photo, Mr. Depp?
It is me, but it's clearly,
Your
It's
Honor,
been-
I'd move
it's
to strike
been-
anything after that, first of all.
Boom. Okay, we're gonna pause right there just for a
Ask for
second.
admission to-
Dude, Johnny Depp is a savage. Now he has more savage moments today. He was kind of pretty much a savage all day today, which I loved. I'm kind of worried about it, because I don't know how the jury's gonna really take an effect on this. Now, I'm not an expert, so don't claim me to be an expert. So if there's any experts that see this video and want to message me or comment, and we can get in touch and talk about this or whatever, please let me know. But Johnny Depp was a savage today. He tells it how it is. Like, Ron Bourne is trying to put words in his mouth. Now, what I've noticed, especially after today, Ron Bourne and Depp, they both, it's like a brother relationship in some sort of way, with Johnny's sarcasm towards him, and Ron Born's attitude as well. It's like a brother relationship. Dude, I feel like they may be best friends after this, to be honest. But I love it.
This photograph.
All right, just the photograph?
Yep.
You're gonna,
We maintain our lack of authentication, lack of foundation.
all right, over objection, I'll allow 1859 and.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, could I please get
7 times.
this is the exact same picture, isn't it, Mr. Depp?
With radically different quality. And
No, you answered my question.
how
Permission
do
to
you know I
publish.
wasn't done?
You answered my question, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Mr. Depp, you had that, whatever mark it is, whether it's a sunburn, whether it's a shadow, whether it's the light reflecting, you had that same mark on your eye before you got on that train.
Well, it's pretty difficult to get a sunburn on a train. And
let's
in the
get a-
photographs with the child, I don't look particularly sunburned. Can we see those again?
Let's pull up exhibit, one, actually, no, let's talk about Australia for a little bit.
Oh, good.
You testified that you've never done ecstasy
Oh,
more than a
man,
handful of times in your life, correct?
6, 7 times.
Now, you heard Ms. Heard's testimony. You've been sitting, I know you didn't look at her, but you heard her testimony. And
Oh, I
you heard her, you didn't hear her say you ingested 8 to 10 all at once. She said she came down after being apart from you for some time, and there were 8 to 10 gone from the bag, correct?
Objection form compound.
Overruled.
I also heard Ms. Heard say I reached into a bag and poured a bunch of
Yep,
MDMA down my mouth.
correct, that's right. She didn't say you poured 10 at one time, did she?
Oh, she said a handful.
Now, he's not wrong here. Like, MDMA is a pretty hard drug, and is not meant to use to take a whole lot at a time. Now, I'm not too familiar with it, but I do know with pretty much any pill or tablet, if you take like a handful, like they're saying, you could possibly die or not function at all and end up being hospitalized. So what I don't like about, and we'll get into more about this later on, what I don't like about Amber Heard's lawyers is that they try to come out to be like, oh, I know about drugs, or I know about photographs, or I know about this, and that. They really don't know about anything. They don't know the science behind everything. They're just assuming based off of what Amber is saying. They don't really have evidence to back it up, really. And I just think that's funny.
Okay,
Which is more than 10, I believe.
okay, the fact is, Mr. Depp, you are asking for ecstasy. You who have only done it 6 times in your life, you are asking for ecstasy and cocaine within minutes of being admitted to the hospital after suffering your finger injury, weren't you?
Objection compound.
I don't recall that I was
Overruled.
Let's
begging
pull up,
for any drugs.
yeah, let's pull up plaintiff's, or exhibit 393, please. You just said you don't recall you were begging for any drugs?
No, I
that-
don't, but I do
okay.
recall being in great pain and great distress, so
Okay,
I could have asked for a teddy bear as well.
okay. So this has been admitted, Your Honor.
This is an evidence, okay, we publish.
And if you can blow up the text, please, Michelle. In this text message, Mr. Depp, after you suffered your finger injury, you just testified you don't recall asking for any drugs. You're texting Nathan Holmes, your personal assistant, need more whitey stuff ASAP, brother man, and the e-business. Now, we went over this in your cross-examination, didn't we?
If you say so, sir,
And whitey stuff is cocaine,
I would say.
and the e-business is ecstasy. already
Yeah,
testified.
quite likely, yes.
Okay.
So I
I'll take that.
didn't recall that,
Thank you.
but,
Can you pull up exhibit 1817, please? This is a picture that you were shown this morning, Mr. Depp.
yes, sir.
And you kind of made some illustrations on the picture and gave your account of what you see here. Mr. Depp, you testified previously that the vodka bottle that you allege cut off your finger was a handle of vodka, correct?
Yes,
You've already
the
testified to that,
second
correct?
bottle, there was a handle on it, bottle,
Right.
yes.
This bottle, whatever it is, to the extent it's glass at all, that's in the corner of this room, that's not a handle of vodka.
Objection calls for speculation.
I think you'll find that I said 2 bottles.
Well, actually,
Wrong.
what you testified to this morning, Mr. Depp, was that the bottle in the corner was the handle, and there is no other bottle in the picture, is there?
No, that's not what I testified. I testified that, may I touch the screen?
Yes.
This is glass. This
I'm gonna stop
glass.
right here. Okay, so before we continue with this, 'cause it's kind of long, but not really. But I want to kind of talk about it as we go through. So what Mr. Ronborn is about to say or get into is with these 2 broken bottles, you know, they're talking about a handle or something, and Ronborn was like, "Oh, I don't see a handle or anything." Well, my opinion, if there was a handle, first of all, it's shattered glass. So most likely the handle is glass. It's going to shatter. It's going to break. You're not going to be able to tell with these pictures what's the handle and what's not because it's broken glass. And that is what they're about to get into. And I don't understand, like, Rob trying to make out of this picture. There's obviously 2 broken glasses. And this is the incident with Johnny Depp's finger and stuff getting cut off with a glass bottle or whatever. There's evidence to prove that. So, like I said,
Yep. And that's not a handle. Neither of those are handles of vodka.
It's that big, it's broken. The handle's up the top on those vodka bottles, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
And none, if you combine all that glass on the floor, that doesn't make up the amount of glass in a handle of vodka, does it?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'm not a,
When there's objection, hold on. I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
There is no picture of a handle of vodka broken on that floor, is there, Mr. Depp?
no, I don't see it. I see glass under this chair here.
Okay. Well, you testified this morning that you did see it, so it's good to get that clarification. Let's move
No, I
on,
didn't
please.
say I saw a handle.
You also testified this morning that yeah, and I want to get this, I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. You
I don't think we
testified
were.
earlier this morning that there was no phone in the bar area downstairs. Is that what you testified to?
I don't recall a phone in the bar area.
Okay,
I don't recall a Bakelite phone in the bar area where
okay.
no.
Let's pull up, Michelle, please, the UK Day 3, page 421. Mr. Depp, we've done this drill before. This is your testimony from the UK, correct?
Can I please have,
We don't have copies for everyone. It's on the screen
Your
right
Honor,
there.
may I please, I would like to have what?
Wall-mounted phone that was picked up. Can you scroll down, please? Question, a phone that was a wall-mounted phone that was picked up by you, held in your right hand, and you were repeatedly smashing it against the wall in your right hand. Answer, that is possible. But I do not, if that is the case, I do not believe I spent very much time on the phone. I remember ripping the phone off the wall. That was your testimony, correct?
It seems it would be yes.
Thank you.
I
Answer my question, thank you. Mr. Depp, you've claimed before, you've said, if I'm angry and I've got to lash out or hit somebody, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what the repercussions are. Anger doesn't pay rent. It's gotta go. It's gotta be evicted. You've said that before, haven't you?
have you a quote from me somewhere saying that?
It's my question to you. You've said that before, haven't you? Well, actually, let's refresh your recollection. Can you pull up,
Be great.
the Ghost in the Machine article, please?
Possibly about paparazzis.
Mr. Depp, you see the picture of you on the lower left. You appears to be shirtless and wearing a crown, I believe. But you see the long paragraph above that starts with "in the Mark Hotel."
Ah, yes,
You see
yes,
that?
yes,
At
I
at
did.
the bottom of that, does this refresh your recollection that you said, "I have a lot of love inside me and a lot of anger inside me as well. If I love somebody, then I'm going to love them. If I'm angry and I've got to lash out or hit somebody, I'm going to do it, and I don't care what the repercussions are. Anger doesn't pay rent. It's got to go. It's got to be evicted."
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, that if you want to be with a woman sexually, that she is rightfully yours.
That's ludicrous.
You've also said that with respect to women that you want to be with, you've remarked, "I need, I want, I take," haven't you?
Equally as ludicrous, no.
Can you pull up DX 883, please?
You can pull what you like, I've never said those words. There's not enough hubris in me to say anything like that.
883?
883, Your Honor.
It's not,
DX
is it
It
evident?
is not admitted yet.
Okay, 883.
Mr. Depp, these are text messages from you to Stephen Duders on February 22nd, 2017, correct?
This, no, this looks nothing like me. You might have mistaken,
Mr. Depp, we can show the full unredacted. You looked at a number of text messages in this case, and the words "him" as the identifier, that's you, correct? In every text message we've seen in this case.
yeah, sure. It still doesn't mean it hasn't been screwed with. That's not anything that I've ever said or written.
You want to see the whole thing unredacted? We can look at that too.
No, because you could have typed it up last night, no.
Yeah. I can
That
assure
was a
you
savage
I didn't type it
moment.
up last night, Mr. Depp. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 883.
All right, any objection?
Objection on relevance grounds, Your Honor.
All right, well, do you want to approach for a moment? Let's take a look.
Dude, Amber's scared. It only gets worse from here. This was like early afternoon. So this was before some of the good stuff that comes up.
All right, 883 in evidence as redacted.
Thank you. Mr. Depp, you're aware that these are text messages. You can see the bottom right where it says Depp and then it has a number, 8129. Those are produced by you in this litigation. You understand that, right?
I understand that, sir.
All right, Michelle, could you please, let's take a look at the top text first.
Influenced Mr. Duders. I told him that he had to write this, and I told him that he had to write that. As I
There's a
was,
certain
No,
part
no,
I
it
want
wasn't
to get to.
uncommon for Mr. Duders to communicate with Ms. Hurd on your behalf, correct?
Objection calls for spec. I'd ask that he be allowed to finish his answer.
Yes or no question, Your Honor?
All right, go ahead and ask your question again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wasn't uncommon for you to have one of your personal assistants communicate with Ms. Hurd after you and
feels bad.
Can we please approach?
you were pretty. Mr. Depp, you were pretty angry after Ms. Hurd got her temporary restraining order, weren't you?
I think it's that redirect. I can't remember.
Please you.
You reached out to Greg Silverstein to get him to.
I most certainly did.
Okay. And in this text that you, I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of Alden's testimony that you and he met with people from the Daily Mail in London. in the article that the Sun wrote that
Which I don't like that they keep bringing
Why
in
do
the
you
UK
feel
trial
that
because
this is the first time that you've
their rules are
you brought that
10
case
times different.
against the Sun because you
Why do you feel that this is the first time that you've actually had an opportunity to tell your story and, as you said, get the load off your back?
As the UK trial was me suing Dan Wooten and the Sun for defamation for calling me a wife beater. The UK have there are different laws, there are different ways they handle things. There are also limitations in evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things cannot be
Your Honor,
brought
as I
up.
said, it
Mr.
calls for a legal
Rottenborn.
conclusion. He's talking about limitations in evidence in the English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying.
Overruled.
You'll be okay.
right there. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yes, there
I
is
don't know if you guys caught that.
a wife beater. The UK have there are different laws, there are different ways they handle things. There are also limitations in evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things cannot be
Your Honor,
brought
as I
up.
said, it
Mr.
calls for a legal
Rottenborn.
conclusion. He's talking about limitations in evidence in the English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying.
Overruled.
You'll be okay.
Probably the best line he has ever said to Mr. Ronborn. It's freaking hilarious. I don't know if you guys didn't catch that. So, Ronborn objected. Objection overruled. Depp said, "You'll be okay." Like, basically a burn to you, saying, "Boom, we just won this argument." You know, that was great. That's okay. So, that's pretty much the gist of it. It was good that they brought him back, but it was also kind of like pointless because a lot of the cross-examination was already stuff that was already brought up in previous testimonies from him. Now, there's a couple clips I want to show you. Next was a very shocking witness. A former employee and reporter manager person of TMZ came to testify. Now, if you guys watched the trial, during part of the lunch break, they had a lawyer from TMZ to come testify to deny the motion for him to testify. Motion was denied, so he was able to come and testify. Put a lot of risk for himself. Very glad he did it. And they're trying to prove that Amber Heard, or Johnny Depp is trying to prove that Amber Heard is the one that released the video of him slamming cabinets and is the one who put their divorce out in the public and stuff like that. Now, we already kind of knew about it because at the divorce or the restraining order, she brought her publicist and stuff like that. Very telling. Here's a short little clip from him. I think it's like one of his savage moments.
If you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Okay, you know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in the target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. So you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Depp's attorneys,
So I don't know if you guys saw. Let's get back
are
here.
you aware that Mr. Depp's attorney,
For you.
a little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly.
look at this guy especially. Oh my god, look at the faces of these people in the gallery. Oh my god, I didn't even notice this, to be honest. Dude, these people were in shock. Look at their lawyers, like, bro, did she just do that? Like, dude, this guy was so savage, like, because he has no role, like, he has a big role in this, but he doesn't care on which side he is care. He's there for the truth, just like they had a witness from yesterday that was a witness to one of Johnny's and Amber's biggest big encounters, and he wasn't there. He wasn't a Johnny Depp fan. He was just there to tell the truth because he saw something online that wasn't the truth of what happened. So that's what this guy kind of is too. You know, he there for the truth. He's like a whistleblower for TMZ in a way.
Currently, I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Depp's attorneys were well aware of the TRO that was going to be presented on May 27th?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Lack of foundation.
Overruled if you can answer it.
Can you restate the question?
Were you aware that Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys were aware that Amber Heard was going in to seek a TRO on May 27th?
I don't think I understand the question. I don't think so, no.
Okay. Do
kind of a
you
complicated question.
know whether Blair Burke, one of Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys, had a very close relationship with TMZ at that time?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Overruled. If knows.
I was not aware of that.
Okay, and when you said that you were dispatched twice, once to film Amber in the parking lot for the deposition, and then it didn't work out, and so you had to do it another time. How did you know it didn't work out?
Because TMZ.com posted an article saying as much.
Okay.
And
do you
I was
know-
not dispatched.
Do you
I
know
worked in the office.
why the deposition did not work out?
I'd have to reference the article, I forget.
So do you know?
I didn't write that story. I wasn't involved in the
Do
actual
you know
journalism of that.
which side? Do you know which side would have known or not known whether that deposition was going to work out? In other words, the people representing Mr. Depp or the people representing Ms. Heard?
I wouldn't know.
Now, the one thing I kind of wish they brought in, now I think I know why. Oh my god. I think I know why they didn't bring it out. Was so he didn't straight up say Amber Heard as the one who
No.
brought forward
You don't.
this evidence, brought forward this stuff to TMZ, but everything he was reporting on was a TMZ or was a Amber Heard exclusive. So how I think I have a video on this that'll show but TMZ was there for a few instances. I think one was for when they were getting the divorce, one for the RT or the TRO, the temporary restraining order, and then one where he received a video file of the one where Johnny Depp was slamming cabinets and stuff like that. Now, the one with the I think it was the one where she was getting the restraining order. The reporters were instructed by the person that tipped them to for Amber Heard to like stop and pose with her alleged bruises and stuff like that. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's obviously her trying to. Why would Johnny Depp call TMZ to take pictures of bruises that would make him look bad? Like, it just makes no sense for Amber Heard's case. It really doesn't. The only thing that would make sense is if Amber Heard or anyone that she knows put out this tip. Now, with the videos, he explained it very perfectly. The only way that they can claim copyright on the video is if they make the video themselves, which obviously in this case it's not. Amber Heard made the video, obviously, because it came from her phone, it was her recording, whatever. And then another, there was like three reasons, and then another reason is if they find out who the original or if they get permission from the original person, which in this case would be Amber. So obviously they couldn't go to the publisher because TMZ, they have to do an extensive research on stories and stuff like that, and it's not really so much if they're true or not, but if they're authentic. And then that's what this ex-TMZ employee was trying to prove. And I think he did very well. He was very smart, very authentic about everything, very fair. And it basically proved that Amber Heard is the one who did this. So I think there's another one. Nope. I think this one is it. Yeah. I think this is when he first got into Sam. This is when he admits everything.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tremaine.
Hello?
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Morgan Cliff Tremaine.
And what do you do for a living?
I produce esports events and design video games.
And in 2016, what did you do for a living?
I worked as the field assignment manager at TMZ.
What is TMZ?
TMZ is an entertainment news website and television show.
And what were your responsibilities as a field assignment manager for TMZ?
I was the go-between the news desk in the office and the reporters in the field, which you might know as paparazzi.
Approximately how many paparazzis were you in charge of?
At the time, it was about 20 in LA, a handful, maybe 3 in New York, and then 1 in DC.
And what were your responsibilities specifically as to the paparazzi?
It would be to dispatch paparazzi to various locations based on tips or just direction dictated by having a list of sort of hotspots where celebrities would be.
And how were those tips received?
They were received either through tips that we received through our tip line or directly through news producers in the office.
And were tips frequently received directly from sources?
Very often the case, yeah.
And who were the type of sources that TMZ received tips from?
They would receive tips from, oftentimes it would be publicists, managers, agents, or B-list celebrities.
Lawyers?
And lawyers, definitely.
How were tips verified?
Tips are verified by an extensive process. If they come in through our tip line, we have to verify who sent it, that the source is truthful, and so they have to add their contact information, which is a field in that on that website for like name, phone number, things like that.
And how long did that process typically take?
If we receive a tip through the tip line, it could take a while because that would need to be, if it was a tip, we would need to verify it. If it was media, such as photos or videos, that would need to be extensively verified to ensure that the person sending it is the copyright holder and that we would have the legal ability to air it and distribute it.
And while working for TMZ, were you involved in any assignments related to Ms. Heard?
I was.
What was the first time you recall working on an assignment related to Ms. Heard?
I believe it was May 27th, 2016.
And what was your role in that assignment?
For that, Ms. Heard was filing a restraining order at a courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. So I dispatched camera people to that location.
Under what circumstances would you normally send paparazzi to a courthouse?
Only if we had been informed prior. It's not by any means a celebrity hotspot. We would only ever send people there if we had been tipped off that something was occurring and there was somebody present there.
And what footage was TMZ
Hold
trying?
on, I'm gonna stop it right there. He made a very excellent point. So he said that they only go to those areas if they were tipped off. So that means someone must have, it's not like they just automatically knew someone was going to go on. Someone someone had to say something to him, and it most likely Amber, the publisher, her publisher was there. Like, come on, you can't get any better than that. Like, are you, Amber? Please, I hope you watch this after the trial. I swear to God, are you this dumb? Why would you take your publisher to somewhere where you knew, or where you claim a couple years later that you just wanted to, you wanted this privately? The evidence is all stacked up against you, Amber. You can't just go in. You can't just bring your publisher and expect everything to be quiet. Her publisher's there for a reason. Whether it's Amber physically actually talking to TMZ, say, hey, something's going on down here, probably want to take a look at it, or her publisher saying, bro, you can't be this stupid. You wanted attention. You didn't want this. You wanted this to go public. And also, not to mention, experts have even said this, that courthouse that you were at for the TRO, there was multiple ways around those paparazzis. You came out the main entrance door where it's open to anyone, whether it's the press or not. You can go out the back door, get permission for somewhere else to go. Like, there's other ways around it if you didn't want it. Oh, it irritates me. But let's get back into it.
Capture at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016.
We were trying to capture Amber leaving the courthouse and an alleged bruise on the right side of her face.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay and foundation.
What were they supposed to do?
Right. She's asking for, I don't think there's a foundation.
I'll overrule the objection at this point. We'll see.
Go ahead, Mr. Tremaine.
Can you say the question again?
What was your team of
loving
paparazzi
Judge
supposed to do
Penny
while
right
they were
now.
at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
I like how he said alleged bruise because he knows that
We did.
there's no
What is
proof.
the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27th, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not,
Why not?
because it had come directly from a news producer.
Does that mean it had been verified?
It means that they had verified that tip and deemed that it was credible, and therefore a camera person needed to be dispatched.
After May 27th, 2016, were you involved in any other assignments related to Amber Heard?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those assignments?
The next one would have been August 6th, 2016, where she was getting a deposition.
So what did you do in relation to that tip?
I dispatched camera people to a parking lot adjacent to a law office in which she would be arriving to, so we could get the footage of her arriving for the deposition.
Do you typically send paparazzis to parking lots of law offices?
No, not at all.
Did you get the shot of Miss Heard on August 6, 2016?
We did.
After August 6, 2016, were you involved in any other stories involving Miss Heard?
Okay, and then I don't have it here, but then he goes into talking about the video that was sent and stuff like that. But that was epic. That was epic. Now there was a couple other good witnesses. There was one on someone who worked at the airport back in 2008, 2009, when Amber Heard abused or was physically violent with her ex-girlfriend. That was pretty epic to watch. And then there was a guy who was very important. He basically discredited almost all of Amber's photos. He's like some kind of digital forensic guy, whatever. And he said that those photos that she provided were edited in some form of way. They did not come from their original file, which is epic. I will be recording another video this weekend recapping on the next 2 days. Next 2 days, very important. We got one more witness tomorrow, probably a couple of rebuttal witnesses for Amber Heard's side, unfortunately, and then closing arguments on Friday. And who knows, they may come up with a verdict, they may not. If not, they will come up with a verdict hopefully by next Tuesday, and this can be done and over with, and we can finally live on with our lives, and hopefully it comes to a good verdict. So, please stay tuned for that. But before I go, please check out HelloFresh. Use this promo code at checkout and use the link down below to get yourself 16 free meals. That'll be epic. So please go do that. Check out my awesome merch. I am going to have some Johnny Depp merch come out probably this weekend. Maybe. I got a busy weekend. I'm probably not going to stream this weekend because I want to work on this stuff. I'm kind of behind on some stuff. So probably that. And then, yeah. Check out my Twitch channel, DragonSpike17. The link will be down below too. Please check that out as well. I will greatly appreciate it. But thank you for watching, and we will do some more recaps in this next coming up week. Thank you for watching.